Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Wordy, my hub for all of the words that I read, write, or otherwise want to yap about. Today, we are back in my solo studio setup. Feeling like a pop star right now, very Hannah Montana. But I am coming to you guys with a very, very special episode. If you don't know, I have been writing a Dancing with the Stars inspired rom-com for over 2 years. And I went on submission as of the day that I'm recording this 6 days ago, almost a week. 5 days ago? 6, 5. One of the two. Not even a week is what I need to get at. Not even a week I've been on submission with this project, and I am so flooded with anxiety. But I love this project so much, and I love its sacred source material, Dancing with the Stars. If you don't know, also, on top of me writing a Dancing with the Stars inspired rom-com, I am an OG Dancing with the Stars super fan, stan. I live and breathe Dancing with the Stars. You guys, I have been watching this show since 2005. I remember my mom would watch the show live on cable, and I would see it in passing, and I was taking dance classes at the time, and I was just so entranced. And one day, I was going to dance class, and there were cameras everywhere, and I had no idea what was going on. I was just trying to get to ballet class. And come to find out that leaving my studio, because there's always classes before mine, my class was delayed by about 10 minutes or so because Cheryl Burke and Emmett Smith were rehearsing and filming for season 3 of the show. And ever since then, and I saw them face to face, especially Cheryl, I was hooked. I needed to know everything about the show, needed to know as much as I could about the style of dance, even though I've never done a single lick of ballroom dance myself. I've just been such a pervasive watcher of it. Yada, yada, yada. You don't need any more of my origin story. So, what you're really here for, because as the title suggests, I went to the Dancing with the Stars tour this year. I went last year as well, and it was my first time going to the tour last year, and it was so lovely. But if you put a super fan in the very back terrace to where you just like see silhouettes and colors, and you don't actually like see their facial expressions except like on the big screens, yeah, it's a little tough. I had so much fun, but I was like, you know what? Next year, if they do another tour, I'm going to splurge. I'm going to ball out, and I'm going to get closer. I'm going to get on the floor. I'm going to get as close to the front as I can. October 8th, October 10th, something like that. Middle of October. Tickets went on sale. I'm a Mirrorball VIP for pre-sale, and I almost got first row tickets, but my husband was coming with me, and the prices between first row and fifth row were oddly, wildly different. So I went ahead and copped fifth row tickets for me and my husband, and as a gift to myself for finishing my Dancing with the Stars inspired rom-com, I bought myself the Perfect 10 package. And if you don't know what that is, that basically means that a select few, probably 10 or less, at every show gets to go to, the VIP stuff where they like do an interactive game and you get a full cast picture. But then the Perfect 10 people get taken back to the main auditorium where they wait to meet and greet the other pros for, 15 to 30 seconds, one by one. And having just finished the book, I was absolutely geeked. And then I found out that part of the Perfect 10 package is you get to bring an item from home that they will sign. And so egotistical me was like, I'm going to bring my book. I'm going to bring my Dancing with the Stars inspired rom-com book for them to sign. Yeah, absolutely insane. So let's do just like an unpack debrief of the Dancing with the Stars tour. Full thoughts and opinions. Recountings of meeting each of them. Let's get into it because I have a feeling this might be a long one. But before I talk about the actual day, I want to talk about today, the day after. Fun fact, because I bought the tickets in October, I waited 7 months to see them on tour. 7 months, okay? That's almost a full pregnancy. And when I tell you the past few days before my show, I have slept so terribly. I have not gotten a good night's sleep. I've always woken up sore with a crick in my neck, just like not getting enough rest. I also could not fall asleep. I would like shut off my phone and like wind down for the night at like 10 p.m. and my body still wouldn't let me go to sleep until like 12:30 or 1 a.m. I was so excited that my body was mimicking the worst duress it's ever been under. And why does that matter before the show if we're talking about after the show? It's because once the show was over, my body released all of that pent up stress at the same time. At the same damn time. Two bad bitches at the same damn time. Oh my God. You guys, I took an ordinary lavender Epsom salt bubble bath after the show because I was stinky. Fun fact, our show was also the only one on tour so far that was an open amphitheater. Like the balcony, the terrace was not actually a terrace, it was a lawn. So we were exposed to the elements. What a time. So I was gross. I was smelling gross. I took this bath that I take probably 3 times a week, minimum. I love a good bath. It's my self-care method of choice. I took this bath and I nearly broke out into hives. Warning sign number 1. I went to bed and I had this really weird tingling on my lips. Fun fact, I share genetics with my mother, who is prone to cold sores when she is stressed, as am I. And usually the last several times that I've gotten this tingle all over my lips, I just like covered my mouth in Aquaphor, went to sleep, and it was gone. I woke up and a cold sore has surfaced, you guys. It's the end of the world for me. I absolutely freaking hate having a cold sore. It makes everything uncomfortable. It makes me look ugly and gross, and it's bad enough that I'm in my luteal phase. Heinous. I am not God's favorite right now. Then we have the fact that I can't get this damn eyelash glue off of my eyelids. And so like throughout the day when I'm trying to speak to people or record this video, my eyelids are getting stuck open. So like I'm having a hard time blinking. And then I've had several breakouts across like my face. I have a really bad breakout right here on the side of my face to the point where it hurts. Across my clavicle, on the back of my neck. Like it's awful. My body is wreaking havoc on me. I do not care if this is TMI. I am not perfect. I am not aesthetic. I am just a hot mess right now, apparently. And I thought you should know that I was so stoked to see this show that when it was over, my body completely revolted. The absolute definition of obsessed. Anyways, moving on. So let's get into the recounting of the actual day. So the day before, I spent about 4 or 5 hours out on the town trying to shop for a cute outfit. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's like when people take an everything shower just in case, but like delusionally, you're never going to meet these people. I knew I was going to meet these people. And so I was like, okay, I need a cute outfit. These pictures are going to be immortalized forever. I'm going to get all of these framed. So I need to look cute. I went to like 3 different stores. I ordered 2 different sets of stuff from Amazon, returned nearly everything after the fact. But my outfit I ended up wearing was this strapless, somewhat bodycon dress, which, again, luteal phase, that was a bold move. But I do not wear neutrals a lot. Like, I'm trying to get better about wearing neutrals, like blacks and browns and tans and whites. Like, I'm trying to be better about wearing neutrals, but really to my core, that is not me. The closest I got was this outfit. I got a somewhat bodycon strapless dress, tube top dress, whatever you call it. It was brown and it was, it's not lace, but it's almost like netted, like really tiny netted, a little stretchy. It was brown and it had blue polka dots all over it, like kind of blue-gray polka dots. And it tapered off kind of like tissue paper at the end. It was asymmetrical. I think that's a better word for it. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, you are seeing a picture of it right now. And then I paired it with these 3-tiered disco ball earrings that very closely resemble the blue polka dots. And I thought it was the cutest fit ever. I was like, okay, maybe I'll get a few compliments, which I did. Maybe it'll get a few compliments, and I'll feel cute and it'll be fun for pictures. And then I realized I didn't have any shoes to pair with it, or so I thought. Listen, you guys, in a room full of people wearing jeans, I am wearing this dress, obnoxious clay earrings, and my freaking wedding shoes. That is not a joke. I was trying to find a pair of brown shoes, and I owned one pair, and I knew they were going to blister me, and they just weren't the right brown. I Amazon rush ordered like 2 or 3 other pairs of brown flats. Hated both of them. Actually, that's not true. I kept one of them, but I didn't wear it for the actual event. But in my search for brown shoes, I was like, wait, what if I have shoes that are blue? I have some like purple heels. I have some red heels. I wonder if I have anything blue. And that's when I remembered my wedding shoes, my Badgley Mishkas. Is that how you say the brand? I knew they were going to hurt my feet, but they were going to look cute in pictures. And so what I did is I packed a pair of flat white sandals in my clear bag so that once the pictures were over, I would just swap my shoes out. Also, I did not do any of the long haul walking to the venue in those shoes. I had my flip-flops. Personally, one of my best moves of the day. So that's the fit check. We get to the venue. VIP check-in starts at 4:15. We get to the venue at 4. Houston and I, my husband and I, are just having a jolly old time. We're talking and we're getting excited. We're like 4th in line or something to get checked in. We go through security. It was great, whatever. We check in, and that's when I realized, because I had to do a separate check-in for my Perfect 10 package, and that's when I realized that there were only 8 people at this show. Mind you, this is Dallas. This is the Dallas show. There are only 8 people who do the Perfect 10 package. I think I even heard that only 10 people per show get to do the Perfect 10 package, which, to be fair, the Perfect 10 package was very expensive. For me and what was going on in my life and how big of a fan I am, it was worth the money, truly. If that's what you're here to ask, if you want to know if it was worth the money, it was absolutely worth the money to me. So, absolutely worth the money. So, the order of the events is we check in, we do general VIP. So, not just Perfect 10, there's maybe 100 or 200 of us for VIP. And we sit in like the first few rows of the amphitheater, and the cast does an interactive game with us. For a couple of stops, I've heard that it's the emoji game or something else. For my tour stop, it was a game of charades. And basically, they were sitting in front of us looking out at us, and the big screen that was behind them would have charade prompts. And so they were split up into 2 teams, and it was our job as the VIP guests to act out the charades. Well, I was sitting front row with this other girl, and we took it upon ourselves to act a fool and like try and get them to play, like to guess what the charade was. And it was so fun because I know I looked stupid and I kept having to make sure that I wasn't flashing anybody with my dress, but it was so fun to get that like direct, indisputable eye contact and like resonance with the stars, especially Daniela. That was really wild. The eye contact was fierce, and I loved every single minute of it. Same with Brandon. Honestly, I feel like I'm going to end up going like one by one, like, oh, and them. Oh, and Haley. And yeah, it was really, really fun. I had heard like mixed feelings about the games, but I think the charades really lent to a better experience. So I had a lot of fun. And then we all lined up for the full cast photo. Perfect Tens got to cut the entire line. And so I was like fourth or third in line to get my cast photo. And it was really fast, but it was crazy because Pasha and Daniela were the ones to like turn from the background and like welcome me in and be like, come on, come on. And like, it was so crazy because they were all like kind of sardine together. And I just like see this sea of faces that I've been watching for years on my television. And I was like, holy crap. I think I even said something like, oh my God, you're real. And it was so funny. Like I could hear their different laughs. Like everybody laughs differently, but like melodically, I could tell who was laughing. Like I could hear Emma's laugh. I could hear Alan's laugh. Which is funny because like I think that it's such a monumental moment. And for those of you who are not in the fandom, you're probably thinking, you absolute whack job. Chill. It's not that deep. It is. This was my Super Bowl. And I paid for it as such. And I'll do it again if I've got the funds next year. Then they were like, okay, as you take the photo, we're going to take 2 photos. You can switch poses in between. We'll give you a countdown. So I had my arms around the backs of 2 of the pros, and I don't remember who because I blacked out. And then the second photo, I did my signature little pose. And again, for my auditory listeners, you have no idea what that is, but go to my Instagram, author Sydney Applegate. The pose that I do in that first picture, yeah, that's my iconic Sydney default pose. So I did that. So I have 2 options, and I don't have those photos in yet, but by the time that I'm posting this, they probably are. And if so, here is the picture. And then after that, the Perfect Tens waited for the rest of the VIPs to go through, and we waited to do the one-on-one meet and greet. And mind you, like I said, as an OG fan, I knew what I wanted to say to them. I had meticulously drawn up a notes app document of what I was going to say to them. And the second they came up to me, Alan was the first one to come up to me. The second that he said hello, I blacked out. Truly, you know how when people went to the Eras Tour, and I went to the Eras Tour twice. Do you know when they were saying that people got like happiness blackouts, like happiness amnesia? This was 10 times more crippling because, again, like I knew I wasn't going to meet Taylor Swift. I was just going to be there for the concert. And frankly, I remember a damn good bit of the show. This meet and greet, I am so glad that I was filming on my phone because I went blank. So for your enjoyment, here are the things that I wish I could have told some of the pros before I blacked out. Alan came up to me first, and all I had in my notes app, I wanted to be cheeky because Alan's a really funny guy, and I adore him. I adore all of them, but like he's just always like tickled my funny bone a little bit. And so I so badly wanted to ask him if he was still bitter that the New Directions beat Vocal Adrenaline at sectionals. Because, fun fact, he was an extra in season 6 for Vocal Adrenaline. I can literally just see him and his previous hairdo singing "We Built This City." I'm so mad. It just left my brain. I'm so upset. And also what left my brain, I don't remember the order that the rest of them came in. Truly, I was just so excited to see them. I think Haley was next. Haley, I really didn't have that much to say because I didn't want to get too crazy. I have watched her dance solos before going on to Dancing with the Stars, like before being recruited to the troupe. If you have never watched her like awarded solos and everything, you are deeply missing out. It's absolutely insane. I just wanted to be like, you are so talented. You are absolutely by no means the product of nepotism. You're not. Like, I don't care if you're Jenna Johnson's niece. You earned your spot. I mean, crazy talent. I secretly wanted to ask Ezra if he could coin a new fake slang phrase. So if you don't know, he played a joke on the older pros, him and Riley. They created a word called quah, Quah. it was a fake slang word to make them feel old and out of touch. And I think it was the funniest thing ever. I mean, it's still a running gag. I wanted to be like, oh my God, you're so qua. But I wanted to ask if he could coin a new term. Kind of like, stop trying to make fetch happen. But really, I wanted to capitalize on the fact that he was one of the pros that had commented on my book before. And I wanted to just be like, thank you for signing my book. And I think he actually kind of remembered. He asked if it was a rom-com. I was like, yes. I'm so stoked about it. Thank you so much for signing it. And he was like, oh my God, thank you for writing it. And he was just awesome. Also, up close, his eye makeup was lethal. Lethal eye makeup. He is so handsome. Holy moly. I said everything that I wanted to say to Danielle Fishel. Very proud of that. Daniela Karagach, I genuinely think I blacked out. Blacked out is going to be a common theme of this. I apologize. But Pasha was before her. Pasha is one of my all-time favorites because, like I've said to several people before, if you ask me who I want to win the Mirror Ball next season, it is between Britt, Brandon, and Pasha. But Pasha is personally one of my, if not my favorite. I think that he is just such a wonderful person as well as a talented dancer, and rightfully so. His wife gets a lot of love. Danielle is incredibly talented, but I feel like he doesn't get the same amount of praise, and so I've taken it upon myself to match the energy. There's quite literally a video of me screaming my lungs out when he enters the stage. Also, he was swagged out during the VIP experience. Holy crap. It was not healthy for me to see him in that state. He was so swagged out. I don't know how to articulate it any other way. He was, oh my gosh. Moving on. I saw Pasha first, and I was just like, you're literally one of my favorites. Like, I hope you get the Mirror Ball. And, like, it's long overdue. And Daniela came up beside him / us and was like, very long overdue. And I was like, hey, queen. I did not want to address her as the Ferrari. I know that's like a gag. I know that's like a thing now, but I didn't want to. It's the same way that I didn't want to address Danielle Fishel as Topanga. Like, that's a character. That's not her. So I'm really glad that I did not call her the Ferrari and I did not call Danielle Topanga. I was so glad that I addressed them as them, even in the throes of my excitement. I wanted to tell Daniela about Jason Mraz. Jason and Daniela are probably top 3, top 2, if not my all-time favorite pro partner pairings. I was absolutely gutted when they came runners up. And not because Sochi and Val did not deserve the Mirror Ball, because they did. They wouldn't have won it if they didn't. But I wanted it for Jason so badly. So I wanted to tell them about that. I was going to tell her that her Paso Doble with him, their freestyle, and their jive live rent-free in my mind, and I probably watch them on YouTube once a week. That is not exaggeration, hyperbole. It's not. But I didn't, because I blacked out. And also my selfie with her, her face, she looks face-tuned. She's so damn pretty, you guys. I like her outfit too. She and Pasha came out on stage, and I was like, to what do I owe the pleasure of seeing one of the most beautiful couples on planet Earth? Truly, I'd like to know. Val, I'm trying to think. I think I wanted to mention him and Lori Hernandez and Max when they did their trio samba. That is one of my favorite routines ever. I wanted to say something about that. But he's just so funny. His TikTok that he posted after the show or during the show when he's like, Dallas, you sexy motherfucker. If you don't follow him on TikTok, you really need to. And then for Emma Slater, I so badly, just because she's so precious and I feel like she's open to anything. I knew that they had signed my book. And so I wanted to be like, hey, I'm the girl with the book. Thank you for signing it. I just wanted to say that you kissing Alan on stage the last night of tour last year inspired a certain scene in the book. So thank you for your contribution. And I feel like she would have laughed. But I just, again, I blacked out. I forgot to say it. And I was just so geeked to be in the moment with her and say hey. And honestly, I think a lot of what I was saying to them were like, you're gorgeous, or you're so talented, or, whatever. I truly did not get a lot of time with them, but the time that I did have, like, their eye contact was wonderful. There was supposed to be like a no hug rule, but that might have only been for the general VIPs, because a lot of them hugged me. Like, I would go to hug them, realize that I was breaking the no hug rule, and I'd kind of like retreat, but they would come in and like pull me in. And I don't know, you guys, like, I'm low key getting emotional thinking about it. It's very nerve-wracking to meet your heroes, and I've done a lot of that this year. I've met a lot of heroes, inspirations, people I look up to, people I admire who are, talented, or I perceive them online, but I don't know them personally. And I'm just so thrilled that it was a lovely, lovely experience. They are all so wonderful. They are worth the watch when it comes to how much time you spend gawking at them on TV. They're absolutely worth it. Absolute hearts of gold. Okay, now let's talk about the book. So the way that the Perfect 10 package worked was I got to bring an object from home for them to sign in advance, and so I brought my book. The problem was, the night before I went to my tour stop, I found out that you don't actually get to carry your item with you and have them sign it right in front of you. I was kind of banking on that, because from a selfish point, I was going to use it for some book marketing. But, we'll just, experiment a little bit. So what they did is the VIP manager came and collected our Perfect 10 items that we brought from home, took them backstage, and before Perfect 10, like before we met them one by one, they signed it backstage. And so I put a sticky note inside the first page. I had a blank page set up for them, and I was like, please sign this page. And when they opened it, on the other page, there was a sticky note, telling them, hey, I've been a fan since the beginning, and it inspired me to write a Dancing with the Stars inspired rom-com. I'm so excited to meet you, and I love watching you guys do your thing. Thank you so much. And they signed it, and it's time for a show and tell. So this is the book, and I'm sorry if the ring light is all up on this because it's a shiny cover, but this is the front, and you can kind of see the signatures bleeding through. But yeah, here it is. Also, I found out this morning, looking back at it, that it's up top. It says, your lover, Ezra. Like, you can't do that to me. I'm going to pass out. Luckily, I'm seated. But yeah, this is them. So the 10 Pro cast and Danielle Fishel signed this, and I nearly fell over dead, as expected. So, Perfect 10 happens. It's incredible. I finally change out of my demon wedding shoes. Then I get to enjoy no crowd merch shopping. Literally, as soon as Perfect 10 is done, I go to the merch line. There is no line. I just walk up to the merch stand. I get this shirt. Ooh la la. I get the long sleeve kind of mauve tour hoodie. All I got in merch last year was a hat and a t-shirt. The hoodie just wasn't to my style preference. This year, the tour hoodie slapped, and I knew we were going to be in store for some rain here in Texas, so I was like, you know what? I'll get myself a hoodie. And then, of course, I got another hat. I'm a sucker for a hat. What can I say? So now let's do an unhaul of my VIP swag bag and my merch. I also just realized that I told you I was sitting in the fifth row. I actually was in the seventh row, but where my section was, it was technically third row. So, weird flex. Because of where I was sitting, I got sprayed with confetti twice, and it was awesome. So here is my confetti from the tour. Doing this one-handed is actually very difficult. Please bear with me. Okay. This was my VIP badge. VIP's got this normal little rectangle one. And then Perfect Tens, I can't do this with one hand. This is crazy. And then Perfect Tens got this little like starburst icon. And this is my first 10. I had heard about this, but we get this cute little case. And if you open it up, I have this commemorative, oh my goodness, can I get it out of the box? Barely. This commemorative little ticket. So if I do a shadow box or I get things framed, I will be able to frame that. Next up, I got a cast poster, and my husband was general VIP, so he also has one. So maybe I'll give this away if I get news about my book. That's not a hint. I don't have any news. My book's been on sub for 5 days. But maybe I'll do this in a future giveaway because I now have an extra. Are we shocked? I got a promotion for the Dancing with the Stars convention that's happening in July, and I want to go so badly, but I genuinely do not have the money. So, Dancing with the Stars, if you would like to send me tickets, I don't care where I sit. I just want to be there. But otherwise, I can't go, but I will highly promote this event. I would love to go to the inaugural con, but it's just not in the cards for me right now, especially after paying for this package. Like, I just don't have the means, but I would give anything to be here. This is something that comes in the Perfect 10 package, so the general VIP does not have this. I have a signed program for the show. So it has profiles on all of the pros and the guest hosts, and it even has like some insight on like the costume design. I personally am obsessed with this page. I love this. But yeah, it's autographed and I'm obsessed. Okay, more swag. I did the Mirrorball Dreamin' presale. So I have a Mirrorball Dreamin' sleep mask. And fun fact, I actually love a good sleep mask. I know it's not for everybody, but it is for me. Target audience acquired. And then I also have this cute makeup bag. Are we serious? Like, I would absolutely tote around my products in this. All right, we have made it to merch. I am going to put the microphone down and just hold the hoodie up for my visual listeners. Low-key, the hoodie is giving Olivia Rodrigo vibes. And then this is the hat. It says Live from Hollywood, and it has 2 little disco balls on the back. I love the maroon. My brother is an Aggie, but also I just love this kind of darker color. It's going to be perfect for the fall when I'm wearing sweatshirts, crew necks, hoodies, long sleeves. I love it. The tour hat from last year was green, so now I've got Christmas colors. And then, of course, my clear tote bag that says Dancing with the Stars Live that I will now be able to use for other events that I go to where a clear bag policy is in effect. So yeah, by the time that I did my merch free shopping and we were all just hanging out, it was about 6:30. Doors finally opened and we got our food. Literally, there was no line. I went and got a soft pretzel and a liquid death, and we just sat in our seats and we took pictures, and I went through all of my videos and geeked out and passed out and looked at the signatures on my book and screamed, cried, threw up, all that good stuff. I used the bathroom before there was going to be a 2-mile long line for the women's bathroom. I am so smart, so appreciative for the fact that I had early entry. And then right before the show started, Artemis 2 landed in Splashdown, and it was such a crazy, cool night. And then when the show started, and it was Ezra's number with the sign, it was about Artemis 2. So I thought that was really cool. And the show was great. They are absolute athletes. They are stunning performers. They are remarkable people. I have absolutely no complaints about the event, even with the different hiccups and changed expectations. I was absolutely thrilled. It was wonderful and money well spent, at least in my experience. There you go, guys. That was my rambled version of the Dancing with the Stars tour in Irving yesterday. I tried to enjoy most of the tour, like the actual routines, with my eyeballs and not on my phone. I did make my husband film quite a few numbers with his phone, which is hilarious. But so I don't have too many videos to report back, but the videos I have are really good. That's what happens when you sit third row. But it was such an upgrade from last year, even though I loved last year's show, even from all the way up there and I could barely see them as people. Being able to like see their like muscle tone and their false lashes and just them. There were several moments in the actual show when I would like have these like little mini interactions with them. Like I would throw up heart hands, or I'd be like, "You better work." All that good stuff. I had like individual moments with a little bit of everybody, and it was just so special. And I'm thrilled that I got to be a part of it. So fingers crossed that I'll be in a good enough financial position to go next year. If there is a tour next year, I really hope there's a tour next year, but I know that most people are really, really wanting 2 seasons a year. So we will see. Again, the fact that they signed my book is absolutely insane. I really, really would love right now to manifest a book deal so that if it sells, I can like send them a copy, even if they never read it. Just the fact that it will go to them would be lovely, especially the ones that start commenting on my stuff if they see it, like at least Ezra or Chandler Kinney was actually the first Dancing with the Stars realm person to see and comment, and she like lengthy commented, which was really cool. But yeah, that was how the tour went for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I know that I can drag on and on when I'm talking about things I'm passionate about and excited over. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at TalkWordyPod, and I will see you guys in the next one.